go for his team, I for mine. We'll watch him slug it out right to the end. That's what I like about, football. That's what I like to think about football.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first episode, or the first podcast of The Thing About Football. I'm Clint, joined with Paulie. Hello, Paulie.
G'day, Clinner. How are you, pal?
I'm going great. We should probably give a bit of a rundown on who we are. If you do know us, you probably know us from regular, everyday, normal guys. We've got a podcast over there, but we thought we'd do one about football. We're a couple of armchair experts that are completely unqualified to give an opinion, but we've chosen that we're going to give it anyway.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, here it is. We're just going to give our season predictions, see how close we can get towards the end of the year. Paulie's going to give us his top 8 and possibly who wins the flag, and then some more info about what we're going to be doing in the throughout the footy season. But Paulie, how are you, mate?
I'm pretty good, buddy. I'm over COVID, but a few years ago I've sort of started to get over footy and the way that the game was heading. But when good old Danny Andrews and other people take away all your freedom and you're forced to sit at home and watch all the sport you can, I've fallen in love again. And, I used to only really want to watch my team, but now they're probably the last ones I want to watch anymore.
Yeah, I feel your pain there, mate. Hey, and happy birthday for tomorrow too, before I forget, which is pretty exciting. You
21.
145, I thought it was, but anyway. Let's get into our season predictions. Let's not muck around. Let's get straight into it.
Can I just say, before we talk about this, the last thing that we are going to be is serious on this podcast.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, I'm
this
glad
is going to be a joke. This is going to be taking the piss. I don't really give a shit about your heat maps or your interchange rotations or any of that absolute garbage. I do love a good stat, but we're going to keep it fun and keep it happy. And this is how we started the regular, everyday, normal cast one, and it went downhill after I said that. And we got really angry really quick. So
yeah, there were a couple of angry episodes in there.
Let's have some fun. I know we got some good segments and some good ideas coming up, and I'm pumped. I'm pumped for the year of footy. So bring it on.
All right, let's start with early predictions. I'm a mad Sam Walsh fan. Bit gutted that he's going to be out for the first 4 weeks, but he came close to winning the Brownlow last year. Who have you got winning the Brownlow this year?
Well, look, if Walsh plays 3 games, he'll win the Brownlow. That's 30 votes. That's 30 votes. That's 10 votes a game.
He's given everyone a 4-game head start. So
10 votes a game, 30 votes. That should be enough.
Wraps it up. I like it.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. Missing games always hurts. But you'd think that the D's and the Doggies are going to be close again. So the Bont, I'm going to say the Bont just because he kicks goals. He can get his 30 and he'll kick 4. And that's it's hard to look past him. And while they do have some decent mids at the Doggies, I don't know. I think he just stands out a little bit more.
Yeah, he's they've got an A plus midfield. They're almost the same as Melbourne, but for me, Sam Walsh wins it every day.
Sam Walsh.
Sam Walsh wins it every day.
All right.
Who are you backing for the Coleman?
It's another tough one. It's really hard because the game changes even year by year, and even from when Richmond won their couple of flags and it was like manic forward pressure, and then now it's becoming, you need to have a good midfield again, and they need to pitch in because forwards aren't dominating like they used to.
That's true.
But if Curnow can play games and give Harry a bit of a chop out, I mean, nothing should stop him from going back to back. And who's that guy with the absolute giant head that plays for the Bulldogs? That young guy.
Aaron Norton.
Oh, mate. If he can keep his neck muscle strong enough to carry his head for the whole year, I I mean, aerodynamically, it doesn't seem like he could fly, but the spring he must have and the power in his core to just lift that head off the ground. I mean,
and catch the ball. And
coming from me, another Joey Big.
I was going to say,
but yeah, Norton again. He's going to get a lot of ball inside 50. So, and who's that? Who the guy they got from the Saints there at the Doggies in the forward? Bruce.
Bruce,
he was a bit of a loss last year too. So, anyone that has two decent forwards, Richmond and Bulldogs and the D's and
Geelong.
It helps to have multiple targets.
I've got Sam Walsh winning that as well.
Well, man, that's undeniable. I mean, what can't he do? If he can take time out of curing kids of cancer, then he'll be there.
even with the 4-game head start, I've still got Sam Walsh winning the Coleman and the Brownlow.
He'll kick 1,000, I reckon. He'll kick 1,000 this year, Walsh.
100, well, mate, he's going to win the Jock McHale medal. He'll win the Rising Star medal. He'll win it all. I don't care.
Nice.
Who you got? These ones are just bullshit ones. Throwing a dart at the dartboard. But who you got for mark of the year?
Mark of the year. You have to say Jeremy, don't you? He's the only one that it used to be the Birdman. Just would every time he went for a mark, whether there was someone in front of him or not, he would specky the air or specky the man. And Jeremy's the same. But
Aaron Norton's got to be a contender.
Oh no! If they can get a Sergi Crane out there to help him get off the ground, and then his chance. But I am a fan of the gutsy running back with the flight marks. If they win, I'm happy with those Nick Rewalt and John O'Brien.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely no care for your life, Sam. Of course, yeah, your mate Sam Walsh.
Goal of the year. Who you got?
Eddie Betts.
He's retired.
Did I stutter? Eddie Betts.
Right. Eddie Betts is goal of the year.
Eddie Betts is goal of the year. Every year.
I think Eddie Betts is playing in the Darwin League, or he's got some teams hooked up there. If there's highlights of Eddie Betts kicking goal of the year down there, and he wins it, you heard it here first.
Eddie Betts. Oh, I'm going to miss him just doing Eddie stuff.
Is Eddie Betts, question without notice, is Eddie Betts the best small forward
ever? I'm going to have to say yes, not only just for what he's done on the field, but what he's done for the game and what he's done for the culture, Aboriginal culture and the Indigenous. And, we're not going to see anyone like him soon. I know the Blues picked up young Motlop, is it?
Motlop. Yep,
yeah.
Jesse Motlop.
There's obviously always Tipper, another absolute gun.
He's good to watch.
Yeah, he's great to watch. But nah. I mean, Milne, I guess there's always a sort of a question mark with him just because of the character, almost the same as Wayne Carey. I know they're different things, but Phil Material was up there, kicked a lot of goals. Yeah.
Yep.
Who else? Who else is sort of a small, clear going?
Do you put Cyril up there just based on his premiership record? His premiership record, he was a gun. That goes without
just a
question.
Gun, but not even in the conversation, I reckon. Cyril, not for pure small forwards. He could run through half forward and on the wing and whatnot. But Eddie's the man.
Yeah, I like it.
Eddie is the man.
Gearing up for this podcast, we set you the task, or we agreed to set you the task of giving us the top 8. We weren't both going to do it. It's pretty pointless. Give us your top 8. You got it?
I got it. You got to start with the old D's, obviously, reigning champs. Probably not the ideal lead up to the season with old Adolf Goodwin treating everyone like absolute shit. But still, I mean, are we ever going to really know what's really going on there? Do you want your coach to be a staunch, David Parkin type? Like, we're going to have to get over some of this offended shit. He's the boss, and I don't mind it, even though having no idea what's really going on. But the only thing with the D's is when they started coming good, it always became a thing that almost like the Blues, when they start playing well and the fans are up and about and you start playing in front of your fans, they shit the bed every time. So playing in front of no one might have helped them out a lot. So now that if there's crowds again, pressure goes up, we'll see how good they are. But they are definitely in the top 4 and obviously big favourites to go back to back.
Yeah, I reckon them winning the flag has actually broken that hoodoo of them sort of being chokers or not being able to rise to the occasion, which is probably what Melbourne supporters actually thought that they were like as well. But I think that flag gives them belief. I reckon Melbourne are going to be an absolute dynasty. I reckon they've got at least 3 of the next 4. Yeah, I reckon they're scary good, Melbourne.
Oh, good. There you go. You're back in the D's.
I am. I'm back in the D's.
Yeah. You love the... No, I'm not going to say that.
No.
That's a rumour as well.
Allegedly.
I stopped myself, see?
Have you got them finishing on top of the ladder or just top 2, top 4, top just guaranteed?
I'm not penciling them in for number 1, but definitely top 4.
Yep. Bang. Next.
All right. Next, we've got the old Sons of the West.
Sons of the West.
It's losing a grand final obviously hurts. They sort of had him there at halftime or before halftime or into the third, whenever it was.
Mm-hmm. It's
sort of like now, how does it affect them? Do they use it as fuel and come out, or are they done? I think that they're gonna use it as fuel. Obviously, the Bont is a freak and kicks goals out of his ass. They've got that hot air balloon up forward again.
Jughead Norton.
Again, like I said, if he can just keep those shoulders strong and keep his head off the ground, he's going to have another big year.
I've never realised how big his head was until you pointed it out.
I think the main thing that is going to decide whether they're going to go that extra step is what's Libba been doing in the off-season. Has he got any more absolutely crap tats? Because if he does, I don't think they can do it.
So you reckon Western Bulldogs season hinges on how many tats Libba got in the off-season?
How many? If he's got any more shit tats, it's all over. The head's not in it.
Right. Love it. Who else we got?
What's that? That's 2.
That's 2.
It's top. Yeah, I've definitely got the Doggies, so they're top 4 as well. Coming up, also top 4. Old Paul Power. I know they love a home game. Sort of like a lot of these interstate teams, they just demolish everyone at home, and then Voss is a massive, massive loss for them. I think that if a coach, assistant coach leaving is ever going to affect someone, it's going to be Port and Voss.
It's going to be Michael Voss. I agree.
Recruit of the year last year, Leah just dominated, and people just obviously still didn't understand just not to kick it near him, and he wouldn't take 47 marks a game. But yeah, if they can win a few interstate games, no reason why the Port cannot continue. They play that manic attack, and then sometimes they die in the arse, but most of the time they're thereabouts. So Port is definitely top 4.
Top 4. Serious question about Port Adelaide. What round are we tipping the argument between the prison bar jerseys is going to come out this year?
When do they play Collingwood? Whatever round that is.
Who fucking knows? Jesus Christ.
I would say it's that round, yeah.
It's that round, yeah. Or whenever they play Adelaide in a showdown, it's got to be sometime around there.
Oh yeah.
God,
Let him wear the jumper. Who gives a shit? You see, like, I think Manchester United have like 17 tops that they can wear, and who cares, man?
Yeah, you know what? You know what's hilarious is that today Sydney have announced that they're going to be wearing their old South Melbourne Guernsey, that big red V. Fantastic! Everybody's coming out and love it. Port Adelaide come out and say they're going to wear the prison bars. Collingwood flip their shit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get it.
Makes no difference.
Port Adelaide, top 4.
Top 4, 100%.
All right, who else we got in there?
Look, it's been a really rough few years with COVID, and first thing we got to do is show our gratitude for all the health workers out there and all the nursing homes, and what an absolute tremendous job the Geelong staff have done just keeping their players alive down at that nursing home there in at the Cattery. I do have a solid source saying that 30 to 40 defibrillators have been stolen and just magically showed up down there, also with a case of gout medication and 12 metal hips. Can the Cats hold on to the top 4? Biology says no. Madge says yes.
Madge is giving 2 thumbs up for Geelong making the top 4.
Look, if Danger doesn't do it now, he's in danger of getting diabetes and cataracts and dementia. So they're getting on. And I also have found out through some little sneaky sources that they're trying to get Craig Bradley out of retirement just to play another quick 100 games.
He'd be a young recruit for them, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's just going to go straight in there. Old Braddles. So,
love it.
Old Cats.
Who we got for 5th?
Top 4 for Geelong, sorry.
That's the top 4. So
I'm
we got
sneaking them in. It's their last
Demons,
crap.
Doggies, Port, Geelong. That's it.
Yeah.
This is their last crack at it.
Got it. Next, the French, the old Brisbane Lions.
The Brisbane Lions.
They were really stiff a couple of years ago when, look, they should have had a home grand final. Like, that's never going to happen again unless some other disease comes up and messes with us. Some good young players. What's the name of the guy there that dominated and the one that kicked the goal after the siren against Collingwood? I forget his name. Bailey?
Yeah.
Gun. Absolute gun. They
got Rayner back as well from injury.
Rayner's back. What was the guy that won the Brownlow sticking around after deciding he was going to leave? What's his name? Lockie Neal's back. So, definitely top 8. Top 8.
Next,
we got another surprise packet from last year. Look, they've recruited well. Good young players. I think Buddy Franklin's now halfway through his 1,000-year, $50 trillion contract. So he's got about 600 games left in him. And he was looking good last year. He still could easily kick 50 plus.
Coleman medal?
Ooh.
Possibly?
I kind of hope so. Like, is he far off 1,000? He's got to be close.
Oh, he's only something like 20 goals off 1,000.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
He'll get 1,000. Can he take the record?
No.
Can he take another?
No.
Can he kick? What's he 200-300 away? Nah.
No.
So if he gets,
he gets
80.
You know how many more years he'd have to play to kick 300 goals? He's going to have to play another 30
3
years.
or 4. Okay. All right. So he's not going to do it. Definitely top 8. Sydney. Definitely top 8.
Yep.
What do you think?
It kills me because I've got a Sydney supporter. Our best mate is a Sydney supporter.
Oh, true.
And it kills me to say that I rate Sydney. I rate their midfield. If they can, injuries to their key position players is what'll ruin them. If they can keep them on the park, they'll be really good. Really, really good.
True. Good. All right, next I've got... I really like this song. That's a good one.
There's a big sound.
The GWS. I mean, if James Hird joining your club doesn't inject a little bit of power into the mates, you know what I'm saying?
Boom.
I have seen some footage of them earlier, so I don't know if they're a footy team or if they're going for the Arnold Classic. They look big already. They are monsters, man. There's not one like skinfold there.
I'm shocked by this inclusion of GWS in the top 8.
Top 8, man. Easy.
Shocked.
I think that they were underperformed, and they're that one team. Normally, especially if like from the 90s to the early 2000s, if you just said to me, who's number 10 for this club, I would know. And in the last few years, I wouldn't know. And GWS have about half their players. I have no idea who they are, and they're all good.
Yeah.
Like, I just haven't focused on them enough. They're a good side. They got to, and they've been absolutely pummeled, along with Gold Coast for half their talent. And they still managed to do it. You know, they made a grand final, and then Cameron pissed off.
Lots of injuries last year too. So
Good side, man.
Yeah,
I got them top 8 for sure. All right. Next, we got
final spot.
I'm sneaking them in.
Sneaking the Bombers into the 8.
Look, if you look at them on paper, their midfield, if they can stay on the park, I mean, it on paper is unreal. But, you know, Dylan Shield gets injured every time the wind changes. Stringer's always in danger of getting king it in a nightclub and missing fucking 10 games. But also mixed with some really good young talent coming through, Cox and that other sook who didn't want to go to other clubs. Forget his name, but he's a sook, but he's pretty good too.
McGrath and Parrish.
McGrath missed games. Parrish only got better because other guys missed games. So let's see how they gel. Forward line is, you know, a little bit meh. But you got Tipper, you got Stringer. They stay on the field. It'd be nice if they had like a Kerno or a Harry, you know.
Yep.
That would be really good. I've got them. I got them in the 8. Actually, having said that, I know their fans are absolutely praying to God, every ghost, every star sign, every pot plant, and even Madonna, that they could finally win a final for the first time since the Big Bang 13 billion years ago. So this is the year. Actually, I've got them making finals and winning a final.
Oh, that was going to be my question. Have you got them winning a final?
They're winning a final.
Oof, I love it. They're well, based on your letter, they'd be playing Brisbane in Brisbane for the first final.
Oh, they'll get them.
Beat him. Love it. Love you've heard it here. There's lots.
They'll get them.
Love it.
If they would have played it, do you know why? Because if they were playing at home, all the pressure's on.
Yeah, true.
So they're playing there. They got nothing to lose. We've already obviously seen the future, and we know it's first week of the finals is Brisbane Essendon at the Gabba. So we'll revisit this in 7 months and see how we go. 8 months, however long we got.
Let's run through these other teams and where you got them. St Kilda.
Saints. Look, this is a tough one, and I feel sorry for Rats because they're already circling for him, and it's unfortunate because he was unfairly dumped at the Blues when, I know he had Judd and all that, but that year that they should have taken off, and they almost like a Richmond last year got absolutely decimated by injuries, and then, you know, the fans coming along and the media comes along, and it was always going to happen. He was always going to cop it, and it was unfair, and now it's happened again. I don't know if the Saints rebuild strategy has had anything to do with him or it's just been dumped on him, but this is the industry where the coach unfortunately cops it. I don't know if I agree with that. It's like they've just been recruiting, you know, my nonno and all these Bruscola teammates from the Venator Club and any other old timers they can find, but I think they need to stick with some of the youth, and the Saints are going to make the 8, Clint.
You got that's That's all right. That's 9 teams you got in the 8. But all right,
9 teams will make the 8 for the first time. Saints are going to sneak in.
9 teams are going to make the 8s. Saints are in. Serious question. We might actually put this one out to the socials for the St Kilda supporters. But what does the season honestly look like for St Kilda if they don't make the finals? What's the outcome? What happens? Is it back to the drawing board? Does the coach go? Where to if they don't make finals? Heaven forbid. But for some of you Saints supporters, I cross my fingers. Some of the others, fuck you up. Where you got the West Coast Eagles?
I got them flying high, Clint.
It's fitting.
I got them flying high. I mean, is Jack Darling going to get the jab? Probably not. Does anyone actually give a shit? Probably not.
Probably not. And the gun recruit, the gun pickup of the year.
Well, look, they've already got all these hard-bodied in and under, put your body on the line midfielders. You know, maybe they need some prancing, skipping, outside runners. Look, Petrevsky-Seaton had all the talent. It's just, has he got it between the ears? Does he want it? He's got his chance now. He's at home. I know you're a Carlton fan and you didn't think it was much chop. I think it's sort of like, even if it's the same as the Judd Kennedy thing. We got Judd, they got Kennedy, we were happy. In the end, he ended up being an absolute gun, but we were happy for it.
Yeah.
We see it as we got Chera, we needed Seaton gone to get him. We got Chera, they got Seaton, Petrevsky-Seaton. If he kicks on, good on him, but we're pretty happy. They're going to finish in the 8 too.
I agree with that.
West Coast will make the 8.
West Coast, they're in. All right, so we've got 10 out of 10. We've got 10 teams in the 8 at the moment.
They're in the 8. I got them in the 8. They're going to win all their home games and scrape it.
Let's scrape into the 8.
We got them.
Frio, way to go. Where have you got them?
Look, they should make the 8. What's more mail coming from out of Perth is David Mundy. I know the Cats are circling. They're going to send Brad Scott and Chris Scott, any of the Scots. They're going to send the Scots over. They're going to send Selwood over. They're going to offer him, as much money as they can throw at him. A couple Palmers, a few slabs, whatever gets him over the line. Right. Some Uber vouchers. And yeah, you've heard it here first. Mundy will be at Geelong for the last 10 years of his contract.
Along with Craig Bradley.
With Craig Bradley. It's
with
happening.
Craig Bradley.
Freo should definitely sneak into the 8.
Frio's in the 8.
Freo's in.
Jesus Christ.
We're going to break records this year. This is going to be a year like you've never seen before.
We've got 11 teams making the 8 so far. So.
Everyone's in. If you judge this by how the media talks about footy in the preseason, everyone's flying, everyone's fit, everyone's got a new game plan, and no one's shit. So everyone's playing finals.
Right. Oh, all right. One of the most talked about teams in this preseason so far, as we hear it every time because we play Richmond first up round 1. Richmond, where have you got them?
Good old Tigers. I mean, they have played the best footy, I think, of any of these teams that have won multiple premierships in the last decade.
Big call. And this is coming, yes, I go for Carlton, but Hawks played some shit footy and caused the rule changes in 2008, and then, their footy, they had a lot of good battles with Geelong during that period, and Geelong as well, but Richmond, their style of footy that won them grand finals was awesome. Can they get back to that? I mean, last year they got slapped by injuries, which didn't help. And
while they get those players back, I know another year into these guys, another certain amount of games, you're not the same. It did force them to play some younger kids, which is obviously always good. I think I've got them just missing out. I think they're going to finish ninth.
He's giving him this big rap and then he's given ninth.
The other 12 teams will finish ahead of him and they're going to be ninth.
And they're going to be ninth. Right. They're not going to win the wooden spoon. They're just going to be ninth.
Nah, they should make the finals. I know we've been talking a lot of jokes in here about every team making the finals, but if they can keep them on the park, there's no reason why that they shouldn't win enough games.
All right, let's settle a debate here. Brisbane early 2000s, Hawthorne mid 2000s or mid noughties, Richmond the last 17 to whenever it was, 3 out of 4 flags. You've got Richmond as the best team out of those 3.
I've got their game style as the best game style out of those 3.
Right. Yeah, that's not what I'm asking. Who have you got as the best team? Go. You got to settle the argument. This is it. It's all on your shoulders.
Brisbane had the best team of names on paper, and what they all achieved individually, you know, as far as legends of the games go. But that's not what I was saying. I know that's what you're saying. I'm just saying Richmond have been amazing to watch. I used to, the ball would be trapped in the forward line and absolutely manic pressure. The defense, Rance would go absolutely crazy to win the ball. And then when they did, everyone would absolutely break and they would kill you with handball and they would run. And I remember just watching them and I'm just like, how are we going to stop this? Before we even know what was going on, the ball's in the forward lines, players everywhere, they were fit. It just worked. And then it took them winning 3 flags to everyone to Jerry, and now the game has changed a little bit again and moved more towards, with them doing the whole 6-6-6, meaning you have to be good one-on-one, and big-bodied midfielders are dominating again, which, hopefully Cripps can sort of understand that now, and now that he's got a bit of help, can start to bulldoze his way through again, and because one-on-one, who's going to stop him? Yeah. One-on-one, who's going to stop Martin? One-on-one, who's going to stop Oliver? Who's going to stop Petrarca? Who's going to stop Bont? You can't. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Taggers you're just wasting a man. So yeah.
So the answer is Richmond.
Game style Richmond.
Thanks for that.
One of the best I've seen.
All right, let's get to it. Let's hurt ourselves. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Where have you got Carlton?
Look, I really want to say finals because that's what I've said about everyone.
This is the only team you got missing out at Richmond tonight.
The Carlton board would want to hope that the Blues don't shit the bed in the first half of the season because the media is going to come out again. They're going to talk about Voss. There's going to be prosciutto flying one way. There's going to be bocconcini flying the other way. There's going to be pasta sauce everywhere. Oh, there's going to be a lot of... Unfortunately, it's not even to the point now where we could say, look, they might be 6 wins and 8 losses, but they've been playing a good style. Like, it's not even part of the equation anymore. It's 20 years of pain where it's just, I don't care if they play shit. I want wins.
Yep.
And, can Cripps become what he was? Can Walsh come back and be what he was? Can Charlie have an impact? Is Zach Williams going to play in the midfield? What happens to some of these guys that are sort of on the fringe, your Lockie O'Brien types and Cunningham and Williamson, and there's just so many mediocre players there that to win a flag, those mediocre players need to have, a Matt Clappe or a Brad Pearce year and play out of your skin. And almost like, if you look at every premiership team, there's someone who's just lifts, Fritsch, or, you pick 10 different Richmond players, that just lifted. So
Yep.
who knows? What do you think?
No, I think Carlton just have to win those games that they should win. So they've got to. They can't come out and drop games against Gold Coast. They can't come out and drop games against North Melbourne. If they're serious, they can't drop games against Hawthorne, the Crows. And if they're serious, then they almost have to start also beating those Essendons and GWS and Freos and all
Take
that.
some scalps, yeah.
They've got to do those. I'm not saying that we should be beating the Melbournes and the Bulldogs and all that kind of Port Adelaides. They're in a league of their own. But if Carlton are serious, they've got to beat those teams that they should be beating, and then they have to push those teams that are around them. And more often than not, they've got to win. Those 50-50 teams, honestly, I feel this year, Freo, West Coast, Richmond, GWS, they've got a dispatch of those. Collingwood, they've got a dispatch of them. They've got to beat them. They've got to beat them. But look, we say the same shit for the last 2 years, and
I do know they've got one of the easiest draws. It's very light. They play, I think, maybe only one or two teams that are in the finals twice. So, I mean, it's now or never. And, okay, yeah, Walsh misses a month, but if you're relying on a guy that's played 30 games or 50 games or whatever it is, yeah.
There's still plenty there to cover him. We've got Georgie Hewitt, Chera comes in, Cripps, Kerno can still go through the middle. There's enough there to cover him for that time. And if you're serious, you shouldn't need Walsh. Like, he's in his fucking fourth season or third season, whatever it is. You shouldn't need him to win games. And especially in our first 4 games, I think we play Richmond Bulldogs, and then we play Gold Coast and one other team that we should beat. So
there you go.
We can't be relying on Walsh, but there's enough talent there to get the job done. But if Carlton are serious, they make the 8.
Make the 8. I've got them in the 8.
You've got everyone.
I don't have everyone.
True, almost everyone. Hawthorne, where you got them?
Well, they tried to have a bit of a fire sale there at the end of the year, didn't they? Just cash in on draft picks.
What was that about? That was insane, yeah.
Maybe they looked at the books and went, oh, shit, what did we do here? Look, they got some good young players. They've still got a pretty core group of stars, Bruce is still a star, and Gunston is still a gun. Look, I've got them. They should make the 8. Nah, seriously, if I've got them missing out, but this is just a year for them to grow into, put some games into some of these kids again, and probably try and sell some of the old guys again at the end of the year. Looking at it, was it a mistake probably trying to get guys like Wingard, and I mean, yeah, decent player, but now it's sort of a waste, isn't it?
Well, I think when they got him, they were still pretty serious about having a crack for a flag. So now that ship has sailed, who knows?
Yeah, that's fair.
But you've got them in the 8. Just want to, yep, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's jam-packed in the 8, Clint.
It's mate, if Essendon can't beat a team in the 8 this year, it's never going to happen.
God.
Well, Crows. Let's get to it. Crows.
Eddie Betts.
Yep. Eddie Betts. That's
They'll play finals though, but Eddie Betts.
Eddie Betts is gone 2 years ago. I don't make finals.
That's all I think about when I think about the Crows. Unfortunately, all the shit with Taylor Walker. I mean, whatever. Hopefully he's been educated and comes back and has a crack. But I got them missing out, to be honest. They're still growing, and although Sloan has always been one of my favourite players, just sort of hard at it, does what he needs to do, good player. But yeah, we're in Melbourne, they're over there. we don't take much notice of him. Sorry, Crows fans.
No gives a shit.
I loved you in the 90s, don't get me wrong. But
How good was late 90s? How good was that Adelaide team?
Unreal.
I reckon I knew them more than I knew my team. Like Liptak and Jarman, or the two Jarmans. It was insane. Sean Rand loved them.
They were my second team until old Wayne Carey went over there and molested the team. Yeah. Eddie Betts, though.
Eddie Betts is gone. Who cares? Finals.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. Collingwood.
Look, I mean, old Hurricane the Goey. Old Reuben Carter. I mean, wrongfully imprisoned, but can he come out and win the championship of the world and get a song sung about him? Who knows? Did you get a look at those sunnies that Mason Cox was wearing?
Mason Cox was wearing.
Oh my God! What's going on there?
That's some serious protection for your Cox, isn't it?
Wow! Look, if he's getting it in his eyes.
Love it.
Look, I've got Collingwood in the 8.
Yep.
I've got him sneaking in. Nah, seriously, they've got some gun kids coming through. They got 2 Dacosses now. So they're going to be exciting, at least. Yep. I do have more mail. I know Geelong are circling again.
Oh my God, who is it this time?
In 4 to 5 years from now, they're going to want Pendlebury in that midfielder down at the Cattery.
That's going to be a young midfield for them, man. Craig Bradley, Pendlebury, and who's the other one? David Mundy.
Mundy. Look, they're just waiting till they get on the other side of 35. They want to try and have a team with 10,000 games of experience, right, in one team. So Pendlebury to Geelong, big money, and Collingwood.
Love it. On a serious note with Collingwood for a second, I strangely like watching Collingwood play, and Josh Dacos has to be my favourite player outside Carlton to watch. I reckon he's massively underrated, and if Nick is anything like that, I think that's going to be fantastic. But Collingwood, I feel if they get injuries, that's their season, especially to that. There just doesn't seem to be that depth there for Collingwood, and last year we saw it. As soon as those players start to fall over, they struggled a little bit, but they've still got enough in the midfield to scare teams. Pendlebury, Adams, the 2 Dacosses, side bottom, then Grundy. They're not slouches. They'll scare teams, but injuries, and they always happen. I feel worried for Collingwood. No, actually, no, I don't. Fuck them.
I'm backing Grundy to bounce back and have a big one.
Yeah.
Good ruckmen are important, yeah.
He was pretty vocal a couple of years ago about, the whole COVID thing and being away from home and homesick and all that kind of stuff. Signed a big contract. I think he's into the 3rd year of that now. He's back home. I think we're going to see a new kind of Grundy, and I think it's going to be pretty scary for the competition.
Yeah.
North Melbourne.
Look, they did get the number 1 pick, but I think it was you that told me that the coach was like, he's not much chop, and he's not in my first team, which is a bit stiff for a team finishing last.
I did get that from an article, and I think the article just misquoted him or didn't write it properly, but it wasn't meant in that way. It was just meant, look, you got to work for your spot in the team. But I saw some highlights of the North Melbourne intra-club match. He touched the ball 8 times, and there were 8 goals that was scoring involvements, or he kicked 2 or 3 himself. He's a gun. He is a dead set gun.
Yeah, he's going to be a gun. I know they pinched Greenwood too at the last second there, which probably helps. Good get. Getting. I've always liked watching him play. There's a lot of guys that sort of go under the radar that after they play that 100 games are really good, solid AFL players. guys like Melbourne, for example, to quote an old sort of 90s, early 2000s player, which when you think of that team, no one thinks about them. But if you watch a lot of good games, good solid players like that make a difference. So him slotting into their midfield, that's definitely going to help them pinch a spot in the 8, Clinner. Nah, they'll be bottom 4, but playing good footy. They might have a few blowouts, but almost like the Blues there in the early 2000s, you're going to cop a few shellackings and blood some youngsters, and Greenwood's definitely going to help blood some kids into good players.
And the Gold Coast Suns.
Gold Coast. Well, I mean, losing Greenwood's going to help them make the 8.
So pinching Greenwood helps North get in the 8. Losing Greenwood helps Gold Coast get in the 8.
Makes total sense.
Got it. Right. Love it.
That's a big loss. I don't know how that even happens. Like, surely you speak to the player and you say that's what you're going to do, and if another team comes, you tell them to piss off, right? So obviously he was happy to leave, or they threw money, or there's sneakies behind closed doors. Who knows?
He tweeted that not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Happy where I am. He publicly came out and said it, and then the next second signed a contract with North Melbourne.
Someone got in his ear. Definitely.
There's cash money in that one. Has to be.
He's definitely got like a little Mazda 6 coming to him under the tables there, I think. One sad thing was losing King. Now that is he done for the year? Because that's always shit. When good
ACL,
young players are out.
Yeah.
And hopefully he comes back and it doesn't affect him in the long run, because he could be anything, you know. These new style of athletic sort of forwards, and I mean, even his brother, they're sort of got that capability to be that Rewalt type, you know, just run and sharpen up on their kicking, and who knows, mate. But yeah, that's very sad. And
those kind of players are definitely working. I mean, the two Kings, Harry McKay, Hipwood, Danaher.
Isn't Rao back? And he's missed a couple of years with bad injuries. And Isaac Rankin gets more games, and he's sort of injured. And Lukosius started looking like he belongs there in the back line.
Took Miller is a fucking
And Took
gun.
Miller is one of those players that I was talking about. After a certain amount of the games of just going under the radar, I remember watching even in games that say Carlton would beat them, he would still have 30 plus and just solid. And it's really good to see that he got some recognition for just a dominant year, and absolutely deserved.
That isn't
Australian
bold-faced lie, because we don't beat the Gold Coast Suns, mate. We lose to them. We lost to them bad last year, and Took Miller was the only player for Gold Coast that actually performed.
Before that game, I said, watch Took Miller and Hugh Greenwood do what they want, and they did what they wanted.
And they did. It was the only thing that we had to do was shut down Took Miller. That was the only thing. And they played Ed Kerner off the half-forward line, Sam Walsh on a wing, and played Harry McKay at centre-half forward. What the fuck?
That's a David Teague thing, man. Let's put it down to that. It's silly.
Don't get me started anyway. That was last year. All right, so we've gone through the teams. You've got everybody in the top 8 except Richmond, who you've got finishing 9. I love it. We've got Essendon winning their first final in, I just want to quote, 13 billion years.
Since the Big Bang. Yep.
Since the Big Bang. 2022 is shaping up to be pretty good. Who have we got playing in the Premiership?
Eddie Betts.
And he's retired, mate.
No, I don't want to.
Who we got playing in the Premiership?
I want to say repeat of last year.
Oh, yes. All right.
On the repeat.
My question to you, though, is how do the Bulldogs win?
It's a midfield battle. So I know Dunkley wanted to sort of leave at the start of the end of 2020, and he thought he was going to be a bomber. He never really got going. And Bruce in the forward line, if you give those double talls and stretch your back line, helps.
Yep.
Can't rely on... I know Bont will kick goals, but if they can get that Bailey Fritsch type help in their forward line to help sneak some goals, you got Norton, you got Bruce, and it's a couple of smalls, and not rely too much on Bont to be that guy to kick your 2s and 3s every week. They can match. I'm sure they beat Melbourne maybe 2 months before the grand final at the Dome.
Yeah.
So they can definitely get them on the day. It's just who has the fitter team, who's got less injuries, and yeah, I'm picking the doggies to pip them.
You're picking the doggies.
I'm picking the
Melbourne
doggies.
Bulldogs. I can't see the Bulldogs getting over Melbourne. Nah, Tim English needs a bit of a chop out in the ruck, and for me, I reckon Caleb Daniels just got to help out in that department. He's been pretty shit
out
right
in
there.
the ruck. Not one hit out in his whole career.
That's pretty bad. That's
Great
pretty bad.
foot skills, definitely. Good decision making. Yeah,
100%. Yep.
Get a fucking hit out, will you?
Yep. Help your teammates out. Do the right thing.
Selfish dog.
You got to be better. All right. We're actually watching. We're going to be on Caleb Daniel Watch this year. That's one thing that we're going to be sticking with.
Caleb Daniel hit out counter is coming.
Yep. We're going to be watching it close. Could you imagine if he actually gets one?
That's going to blow this segment out.
Oh, shit.
We're going to have to figure out something. Maybe we'll put a poll on the socials once we get everything up and running as what happens to us if Caleb Daniel gets a hit out. What do we have to do? Do we have to wear Bulldogs colours for a week or something like that? Do we have to find a way to get in touch with him and apologise? Do we have to get a Caleb Daniel tattoo somewhere on our body? We will figure it out.
We're going to wear a helmet for a month straight.
That's good.
Gotta wear a helmet
wear
for
a helmet
month
to work
straight.
for a day. That's not going to go down well with me. I already wear a helmet.
I actually really like that idea, and we should put that out. One thing that I don't like though is that these sneaky bastards in the AFL, if they actually hear about this and they set Caleb Daniel up to actually get a hit out, I'm a little bit scared.
Look, I'm going to dispute it. I'm not going to just see whatever champion data gives him. I'm going to watch it, and I will decide if it's a hit out or not. And this is not just the balls come in and you tap it. No, I want to see you up against the ruckman beating him.
Yeah. Use your vertical leap. Come on. And your height. Quickly, before we finish up, rule changes for this year.
This is the part of the game that I hate the most because for 100 and whatever years, the game was amazing. And then we started changing things. Good one, 2008 Hawks, you wankers, for trying to time waste. And then they changed that rule. There was no problem with a team rushing behind for 100 years. And then now it just creates this, and us playing predominantly as defenders, there's just no way out for a defender. You have to find some magical way to kill the ball and not give a free kick away. You can't chop arms, which is what we were taught to do. You can't punch it through for a point. You can, barely even hit the ball to the boundary line unless it's in a different state for it to not be called deliberate. But one thing that I like that they're changing is the holding the ball rule has been bullshit for ages. I think you would agree. Sometimes it's guys spinning around 58 times and then the guys like play on, and it just used to be easy. It was like your guy got tackled, he didn't dispose, done. That was it.
So what these rules that they're brought in now, so they're going to be tighter interpretations on holding the ball.
Yep.
I'm guessing that now allows for if the ball comes out in a tackle, because they never pay those ones. If a ball comes out in a tackle, that doesn't get paid. It's called play on. I'm now thinking that they now get paid holding the ball. But what is this time wasting one? What there's going to be?
I think it's more like going back off the mark. There's not going to be like a warning anymore for time wasting. Obviously, there might be 5 minutes to go in the game. You're 10 points up. It's just going to.
So there's not going to be any of that beep beep, move it on type thing. It's just that's not going to be doing free kick against if you get told.
Trying to corral the guy. I know they've got him to stand. There's just going to be no warning now. It's just going to be penalties.
Oh yes. So you can't tell them to stand. So you don't.
I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but I know there's immediate penalties for time wasting. So what that is, I should have probably read that properly.
we got a couple of weeks to go to head around that one.
Yeah.
This has been amazing. This has been fun.
We're back. We're back, Clinner.
It is. We're back.
We're back online, giving our opinion that no one asked for.
No or cares about. This is probably the more important thing. Guys, head over to Facebook for some information on joining our footy tipping competition. We don't actually have a prize yet. We'll try and come up with something. We'll make up something. I don't know. Maybe we'll try and get Caleb's Daniel helmet and donate that to the winner.
Sign Caleb Daniel helmet.
Sign Caleb Daniel helmet from when he wins his first hit out. That'll be the footy tipping competition's first prize. But also head over to the socials at the Thing About Football. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. The important thing about Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook is that we're actually going to be doing this show live on Tuesday nights. Once the footy kicks off, we'll be giving previews, reviews, and our tips, plus some fun segments that we've got hooked up throughout the year, which are always going to be good for a laugh. So join us, be a part of it. We want you to be a part of it as well. So come and abuse us, come and laugh at us, come and make fun of us. Up to you.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be funny. We're not going to bombard you with heat maps and bullshit stats. And actually, there's going to be a lot of bullshit stats because I like a bullshit stat. But
hang on a second. If there's a heat map like Sam Walsh's heat map last year against Collingwood, there's a heat map.
Yeah,
just
gave you a heat map, if you know what I mean. It's going to be fun. Let's have some fun.
Thanks for joining us.